Hi there, I'm Matt Clothier, the CTO and founder of Cloudhouse Technologies. So you may not know who Cloudhouse are. We're a relatively new vendor in this space. So we do what we call cloud application virtualization. What the heck is that, you might be thinking? So we came up with this as a business because I spend my time firstly in the Citrix space installing tons of Citrix servers and TS servers. And then we got into app virtualization, came across the guys at Softricity, thought that was a pretty cool technology. It seemed like it could help with some of the projects I was working on and some of the things that my company was doing. But it was kind of frustrating because whilst it had promised, it didn't quite deliver on everything we wanted. So I spent some time in the app virtualization space, figured out what was good or bad, reached a point where I'd reached my boredom threshold with doing too many packages of the same apps time and time again, too many apps not quite working in the way you wanted them, and I figured there has to be a way to do this better. So I got up one day and thought, let's do it. Let's start a company and see if we can really reinvent application virtualization. And we sat down in 2010 with a clean sheet of paper and said, taking everything we know about what had come before, about where the market is now, about new things that have come along like cloud and VDI and all sorts of other technologies that had appeared in the intervening time, how could we do a better job of delivering applications to people's desktops? And how could we really simplify and streamline that process? Make it easier for the IT guys and easier for the end users so that it's better for them. So we invented this technology that we call cloud application virtualization. It's a technology that takes everything that has happened in app virtualization before and takes it to the next level. So we make it easy to, first of all, package every single application. For us, that was like requirement from day one. If you can't do every app, why bother? It's just too annoying if you've got some apps that work in AppV and some that you have to MSI and which apps are in what, and retrying applications is frustrating. And I don't have the tolerance for doing that, and I'm sure no one else does either. So we figured out a way that you could deploy any application to a Windows desktop, isolate the bits you need to so that you protect the conflict where you need to, protect it from the specifics of the operating system, make sure it runs reliably, but allow you to make every application work in the way the user wants it to work, so it functions as they expect it to. Then you've got to figure out a way of onboarding all these applications. So, having lived through packaging thousands of apps, particularly when you package the same app time and time again. I mean, I dread to think how many times I packaged Office. It just makes me cry. So you've got to find a way to reuse packages and get efficiencies and economies of scale. So we created this thing we call configurable virtualization that allows us to package an app once and layer in differentials depending on who the customer is or who the user is, so that the app behaves in the way the user needs, and you can package it once with just the differences, test it once, update it once, make that whole process much more efficient. We then felt that actually if you want to really take the delivery of applications to the next level, you've got to streamline the infrastructure that it takes to manage and deliver those. So rather than running big SCCM stacks on site or whatever it is that your weapon of choice has been thus far, we moved all the management into the cloud, whether that's our cloud service or a partner's or even the customer running something across a large organization, but allowing you to have an infrastructure that manages and delivers applications at scale across large user bases in a multi-tenanted way, so you don't have to have lots of infrastructure complexity. So that's, I guess, where the cloud bit of cloud application virtualization comes in. And then finally, once you crack the problem of delivering applications to diverse user bases and dealing with making sure all their apps work on whatever desktop they happen to be running on, you've then got to give them, deal with the fact that they may be anywhere. So whilst app virtualization has always been great because it runs on their desktop, so you can do things like run offline, it doesn't really work very well when you bring client-server apps into the equation, because suddenly your users are remote from where your servers are. So to cater for that kind of situation, we created a technology alongside our app virtualization, we call it Data Anywhere, that allows the users to connect from where the application, the virtual app is running, across the network, the internet, WAN, whatever it happens to be, to wherever their data is, and accelerate that connection, particularly for database apps which behave really badly across a WAN, to make them run fast wherever the user is. So the combination of the technologies allows us to take an application, package it once, deploy it to large numbers of users, whatever their varying requirements are. Wherever that user is running, they can connect back to their database across the WAN, access whatever the application needs, or file server, whatever it happens to be that app needs to run, and all the management can be delivered centrally from a cloud infrastructure at scale. So hopefully that's a bit of an introduction to what Cloudhouse do. If it's interesting, check out our website, cloudhouse.com, to find out more. Thank you.